Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, it's really cool. We've got a knife here from Kaviso. Now, as you remember, Kaviso here, I don't know, what did it post? A few days ago anyway. They were nice enough to send out that EDC, the cash valet. Very, very cool. I was really stoked about that. But they said, hey, we'll send you out this Boker Plus to check out as well. Very cool. So what we're going to look at today is the Boker Plus Kaizen. 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 So hope I'm saying that right. But it's a very, very, it's going to be one of those knives that probably gets thrown into the gentleman's knife type of category. And we'll see. I mean, you can kind of get an idea. It's that very slender, sort of CEO-ish look to it for sure, but a very slender, could be a front pocket knife. It really tucks very nicely into the corner of my jeans pocket for sure. It's so slender, but that gentleman's more shirt pocket almost kind of looks like a pen, almost kind of looks like a doctor's knife kind of look to it. So but what do we got here? But I do have to say, before I get started, I do have to say thank you very much to Kaviso for sending this one out. It was very, very cool of them to do. So, as I said, this is the Boker Plus Kaizen. Now, there are several versions of this knife out there, but this one is specific to Kaviso. Now, as you can see there, you've got that really kind of nice textured G10. Check out the texturing on that handle, and it gives it an absolutely super grip. Almost kind of looks like gator skin or something like that, fish scales even maybe. But I kind of relegate it to gator skin. And I mean, I'm pushing that thumb. I mean, look at my knuckle, and that has got some terrific. Now it's not, and when I say it's got terrific grip, it's not aggressive at all. I mean, you can kind of, if the darn thing would want to, well, let's see. Okay. There. Definitely didn't want to do a close-up on it. There we go. Okay. If it's not aggressive though, but it's just very, very, very well textured and grippy. I do have the bolster there with a very generous lanyard slot. I guess it's more of a slot than it is a lanyard hole, but definitely you can get your lanyard through there. Deep carry clip, but as you can see, we're not totally deep carry because of that bolster. Recessed pocket clip screws, though, we like that. Stainless clip, stainless liners, and and we'll talk about this, but that pivot. That pivot. It's, to me, okay, it's a little much. The pivot is the whole thing about this knife that really kind of confuses me. But we'll keep going. We'll go through it. Now, it is a flipper. Look at that flipper, though. Super, super low profile. But very, very easy to operate. It is super easy to operate. And the action on this little bugger is terrific. Flip it out there. Drops really, really well. Now, you can see there is a slight, there's a little bit of a tab or whatever you will. I mean, it's got jimping on it, so it grabs a finger really nicely. But if you wanted to, you can even get your fingernail just right on top of that tab or the flipper tab, if you will, and it snaps right open. You don't need to hook your fingernail. That's just the meat of my finger, but it's super easy to operate. At first, I was like, all right, how do I get this open? I was like, oh, okay. There it is. But you got good access to your lock bar there as well. Obviously, it's really as good as it's going to be for such a thin knife, but it's all right. But look at that nice, slender blade. Now, you've got S35VN blade steel. There are some D2 versions out there, but this one is S35VN. I have a satin finish, a nice swedge there on the blade, and kind of, it's pretty much, I would pretty much call that a straight back. They call it standard blade shape. They call it, under blade shape, it says standard. So it's pretty much a straight back from what I'm seeing. You do have some jimping there, which does grab your finger okay. It's not bad. Lock up, I mean, you're looking at, I mean, you got such a thin blade and almost as thin, well, a thinner liner, your stock down here, though. I mean, I'm looking at probably a good 60% lockup, and I mean, it's solid. I have a little bit of side to side. I can feel a little bit of side to side on it, up and down. Might need to tighten that pivot up, because before I don't think it was too much side to side. So I'm thinking my pivot has come loose just a little bit, but let's look. Let's do it now. Why not? Let's see here. We'll bust out the old handy dandy Journey toolkit. Now, your pivot screws are going to be a T8, and then your body screws are going to be T6 on this one. So let's just see if that pivot did come loose a little bit. I've been carrying this thing for a couple of days. Yeah, it did. Yep, that pivot screw did come. Well, let's see. Hopefully we're not spinning both. No, that one's pretty tight. Let's see. Let's see, how would that do for us? All right, it tightened it up a little bit. Doesn't quite drop as much as it did, but it definitely took care of our blade play. Absolutely. So the pivot did back out a little bit. It drops pretty good still. I mean, if you want to adjust it a little bit and play with it back and forth, you know, if you want that super droppy action, you could definitely do that. But yeah, now that must have done it today while I was carrying it, and I've been flipping the heck out of this knife. I really have been. It's just I don't know, it's a fun little knife. But yeah, I was kind of flipping the heck out of it today. And it's, like I said there, it's not super droppy, but you can still kind of shake shut. Still comes out without any issue whatsoever. There we go. Got the drop again. Let's just see, we flipped it a couple of times. Nope, still no blade play. So overall, what do we got as far as specs go? We are looking at, ooh, get back over here. We'll go back one over. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly about 7.25. Let's see, that's what I get. Let's see, what do they say? 7.09. Okay, yeah, I'm probably not all the way back there. So it's just over 7 inches. Pretty much a 4-inch handle, and then a 3-ish inch blade. Your cutting edge is going to be pretty much 3-ish. I mean, it's blade length. Now, grip length, you're looking at, 3 3/4. And I mean, that's kind of how it looks in my 3 3/4 inch hand. So that's pretty much how I end up grabbing it. I use my index finger lays right there. So not too bad. Decent grip on it. So let's get you some size comparisons. And pretty much any knife I'm going to show you is going to be a lot bigger than this. I mean, not length, but there it is. There's an Olight O-Pen. That's kind of gives you a little bit of a, you know, size comparison there. It's about the same width too, but we're going to throw the bug out there just so you can see. I mean, obviously the PM2 is going to be a much larger knife, but that's kind of how it stacks up against the bug out. Overall weight, it's pretty light. I think they're going about 1.5 ounces, I think is what they say officially. Okay, I get 1.6. I give them that. And then your carry, like I said, your clip, your bolster, it's going to be, you know, you're going to have the bolster basically sticking out of your pocket. So it was very smooth in and out of pocket, no issue whatsoever. But one of the biggest things I like about this knife is that texture on that handle. It is really nice. It is really good. And then we're gonna, that pivot just looks odd to me. It really, really does. It just kind of, on an otherwise very subdued and almost sophisticated looking knife, you have that big old pivot on it. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd really like to hear what you think about that pivot. It seems a little bit out of place to me. It really does. Yeah. Other than that, this is a really, really neat little knife. And I tell you what, guys, they're on sale right now on Kaviso for $69. Normally $89. They're on sale for $69. Yeah, for S35VN, that's not too bad. I mean, if we kind of compared it to the CEO, and in comparison, the CEO, standard, they run about $45 with 8CR13. I have seen some other versions of this, the S35 and the D2, but there's not that big of a price difference that I saw between the D2 and the S35VN. So I found that very interesting. If you look at some of your favorite retailers, there's quite a few exclusives of this one out there, but the D2 and the S35VN on a lot of sites there's not a whole lot of price difference. So, I mean, if it were me, I'd go with the S35VN over, for maybe $5 more or whatever it was than the D2, That's just kind of my line of thinking. But like I said, I really do appreciate Kaviso sending this one out. Really good gentleman's carry. I mean, what the CEO does, this one is pretty much gonna do as well. Obviously, it's not a heavy duty knife by any means. It's more of that classy, dressy type look. So, but really interested to hear what you guys think about that pivot. That's kind of a sticking point for me. So, as always, guys, greatly appreciate you hanging out, coming and hanging out with Big Red. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. I love talking to you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.